Our first trailer, guys, we are going to cover The Shape of Water. So this is the directorial debut of Kristen Stewart, who spent 8 years getting this film made.
The Shape of Water?
The Shape of
Isn't
Water. I know.
Del Toro's film?
Or is maybe Del Toro doesn't have the?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry,
but this is The Shape of Water. I copied and pasted that title. So I know for a fact that it wasn't just me typing it wrong.
The Chronology of Water.
Oh, shit. I guess I did type that out.
That's the beginning of that's the blueprint at the top of the episode right there. Oh shit.
Are you not entertained?
Yes, sir! We'll have a real good time!
He's Dave, and I'm Dallas, and this is Vintertainment. We have opinions on just about everything. Sometimes those opinions are spot on. Sometimes they go down easier with a glass of wine. This is Vintertainment, the wine and entertainment pairing podcast.
In a world where unopened bottles of wine exist, and films in desperate need of judgmental commentary persist, two men take up the mission to combine them both. This is Vintertainment.
This is, of course, the podcast where we pair wine with entertainment. It's always as simple as that. Now, usually, we discuss a single movie, and then each select a wine to pair with said movie, though today we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to watch a series of selected movie trailers for films being released in December and into January, because we're not going to do this again before the new year, so we go a little bit into January as well. We're going to do it while sharing a couple bottles of wine, starting with this one right here. And I know he just said in a world where bottles of wine, unopened bottles of wine exist. Not in this world, baby. They're pretty much all open at this point. So, but we're going to watch these trailers. We are not trailer people. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go. And as we watch these trailers, we're going to comment on, do we want to see the movie based on having watched that trailer or not? Is that something now that we're into or not, and why? We're going to judge these trailers. And then we're going to talk about, as we said, we're just sharing some bottles of wine today. But we're also going to say, hey, these couple of wines that we're going to be sipping while we do this today, do we think any of them are going to match these movies that we are seeing? And we're going to comment on that and talk a little bit about the wines that we're actually drinking here today. So it's all going to be happening as we go. We did not taste any of these wines beforehand. We did not watch these trailers beforehand. This is going to be all new to us.
Yeah, I, for one, am not a movie trailer guy. I watch a trailer. I look forward to watching a trailer the first time, once and only once. Once my eyes have gazed upon your little marketing gemstone for your film, I will likely not watch it again if I can help it. Dave knows this. It's kind of one of the things we bonded over. I love watching a trailer the first time. As we said, we are very judgmental here, or more specifically, we have very acute opinions about things.
Very.
And generally for me, I watch a trailer once. I learn everything I need to know about the film. More importantly, I learn everything I need to know about my desire to see the film. So yeah, anything more than that, I'm over it. How about you, Dave?
Yeah, so you know, I never watch trailers. I go out of my way not to watch them. I want to go into movies cold as much as humanly possible. You might ask, well, how do you even know the movie exists? How do you know if you want to see it? So on and so forth. A little word of mouth can trickle out and whatnot. I'm usually aware. I'm willing to look at a poster. I'm willing to see a title. I'm willing to see who's involved. Get the overall aesthetic for the movie. Read a logline. Loglines can be okay.
Sure.
If it's a movie that has people in it or is about something that I know I'm going to want to see it, I won't even read the log line. I'm just like, nope, that looks right. I'm in. Let me go in blind and see what happens. And that's my preferred method of watching everything. When I stream, when I browse on streamers, right? And you're just going through the lists of movies. Sometimes you're just like, it's a title, it's that image, that little thumbnail. And you're like, good enough.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to look at who the cast is. I'm not going to look at who the director is. Let's just go in and see what happens. So I generally don't watch trailers. I don't, every once in a while, like when I do go to the theater, I don't go to the theater that often anymore either. But when I do, and when the trailers are playing, I do find myself being pleasantly surprised. I often enjoy trailers more than I think I will. I just like to go in cold. So I don't think I'm as I don't have as much antipathy towards trailers as Dallas does, but yeah, I think, and of course we all complain the trailers show too much these days. So it's one of two things, right? They're either so by the numbers and so generic, and sometimes you almost worry the trailers are, because it's made by the marketing team that's trying to sell this film, and if there's anything super interesting or unique or different about that film, the trailer's going to mask that and bury that and try to make it seem more cliche, something you've seen before, make it familiar, and so everything looks more cliche than it might actually be. So that's my one thing, that sort of the downside to trailer. So as we get started, we are drinking a Jurancon sec. This is the vintage Vielh from Lapeyre. This is Jurancon is I believe it's southern France that the Jurancon is in, and Petit Menseng is one of their primary grapes. It's Petit Menseng, Gros Menseng, both white grapes. Makes nicely acidic, beautiful wine. They make sweet and dry versions. We are tasting the sec means dry in French. So Jurancon sec means we're doing the dry one, not the sweet one, but I've had the sweet ones too. These are great grapes for that. But for now, we're going to see if any of these trailers match this beautifully acidic, crisp, exactly, crisp, citrusy, got a little bit of hay and barnyard in there and whatnot. But yeah, that's what we're going to do now. Dallas, what's the best trailer you've ever seen? Do you have a memory of actually having seen
best trailer?
A favorite trailer?
Seen.
Yeah.
I specifically remember the trailer for the movie Tusk, which I think came out in mid-teens or late aughts.
Might have been the OOs, but yeah, something like that.
That trailer was a lot of fun. It was done in this... there are a number of trailers, I think, or teasers that they sort of cut at the time. But yeah, loved it. I had no idea what the film was about, which is exactly what hooked me. Okay. Yeah. All right. Very cool. What about you? The one trailer that really sticks in my mind is actually for an utterly shitty movie, but the trailer was amazing. And it was the first trailer I ever saw in theaters. It was more of a teaser than a proper trailer for the 1999 American Godzilla. Okay. All right. And it was a trailer where it was just these two fishermen. They go out on a dock. Yeah. And they go fishing. Still, quiet. Yeah. This goes on for, at least in my brain, at least in my child brain, my teen brain, it went on for I'm like, wow, this is boring. Like they're just fishing and nothing else is happening. And they're having a little conversation. And then slowly someone, they start to feel like movement in the water, which is very exciting when you're fishing because you're like, ooh, something's swimming, blah, blah, blah. And then you just start to see the ripples coming forward towards the dock and they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You don't know what's going on. Then they're like, oh, and then it's almost like this little mini kind of tidal wave happening. And then they start running and then something goes under and then the dock starts exploding as it's chasing them down the dock. And then it just cuts to Godzilla. Yeah. The word. And you're just like, oh, fuck yeah. So I was all in on that. But that was I thought a clever, well done. Certainly for the time, I hadn't seen a trailer quite like that before. So that was one of the first trailers, I think, where it was a teaser. So they were having fun. They weren't showing you the movie. This scene doesn't even take place in the movie. They made the trailer. They made it as a trailer. It was like a little short film. That's right. I remember that trailer. Yeah. Now. That's right. And so that was really cool. That's one of my favorites that really sticks in my mind. Yeah. I think a trailer I came across for a very old film. I think we discussed this recently on one of the episodes. It's a film called Squirm. Mm-hmm. It is an old body horror film from the late 70s, I believe. And got it? Yep. And just fantastic. Just a fantastic, creepy trailer done in that old, mid-70s style where it tells you everything you need to know, but also nothing at the same time.
Yep.
Just kind of the best horror film, horror trailer. So
all mood, images, a sense of,
as the kids say, vibes. Great
vibes.
Great
vibes. As we say now.
Yeah.
I
said the kids.
The kids, as the kids say. I thought he meant like back when we were kids, and I'm like, no one said that when we were kids.
I'm like, we are not the kids, Dave.
We are not the kids. What do you think? What do you think?
Crisp,
very crisp, right?
I would call this an appetite wetter. We mentioned sort of
yes.
Go ahead.
I was going to say one of the tasting rooms I work at. When anyone comes in, no matter what they're going to drink, we have what we call the Cibonne, and it is a little bit of very acidic white wine. This would do it. This would do it. Yeah. And you take it as a shot, and it's just to get your palate ready for all the other wine that's going to come. So no matter what you ate beforehand, whether you just brushed your teeth, like the Cibonne, it's like, let that taste disgusting. Yeah. Especially if you just had mint gum, brush your teeth, did Listerine, whatever. Like that, you need to sear that junk out of your mouth so the wine actually tastes good when you. All right. So first up, the Chronology of Water. This is the directorial debut of Kristen Stewart, who spent 8 years getting it made. But this is starring Imogen Poots, Thora Birch, and Jim Belushi. Yeah. Now, the screenplay is adapted from the 2011 bestseller by Lydia Yukanovich. Not every book, quote, not every book can become a movie, Stewart told Numero in an interview. But this one swept me away. I immediately wanted to turn it into a collective experience. Now, logline, Lydia, Imogen Poots, and Claudia, Thora Birch, are sisters who share an abusive past at the hands of their father. As Lydia channels her trauma into competitive swimming, drugs, and then writing, she embarks on a poetic, exploratory mission to mine her own memories. Let's watch. So, first off, whoever wrote that quote that they shared with, there was a quote that comes up on screen, and it's, some movies are shot. This one was directed. I'm like, what a kiss ass.
Oh, my God.
Holy, because the director is like already a celebrity 100%. In their own right. And they're like, and it's her directorial debut. So you're like, this one was directed. And I'm like, I'm sure it's very well directed, but it's like, come on.
But also, it's a testament to the spin because really at a baseline it's just stating a fact.
This one was directed. They're all almost all directed. Almost all directed. Yeah.
It's kind of just stating a fact.
Exactly. So it's intriguing. It's not the type of movie that usually draws me.
Yeah.
It's a little too very straightforward drama, and the drama, trauma is usually a good thing to be mined for drama, but okay. The trailer didn't show me what makes this one stand out.
I like that.
From that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm intrigued the fact that they didn't really make a big deal over who directed this one in the trailer. I will say that. So I give them credit for that. Even though they threw that quote up there, it's like they didn't say who they were talking about for who directed it. There, I will say, searing acidity.
Yeah.
Something that would burn your past away.
Yeah.
Whatever, all the past things you put in your mouth, it's gone after a sip of this. So I would actually say this Jurancon sec. It's the first one. We'll see if I think it pairs better with anything else as we go, but not a bad start.
All right, next up is Man Finds Tape, releasing December 5th. Co-creators and co-directors Paul Gandersman and Peter S. Hall wanted their first feature to have the emotional truth and compelling mystery of Sarah Polley's 2012 documentary, Stories We Tell. Stories is not a horror film, by the way, said Hall in an interview with Creepy Kingdom, but it was a huge influence on us because it's a movie that makes you question the reliability of the person telling the story. The resulting found footage horror premiered at Tribeca following a documentary filmmaker, Kelsey Probisky-Landman, who returns to Larkin, Texas, to help her brother, William Magnuson, from House of Abraham, investigate the tape he found. Between the elusive memories of locals, disturbing supernatural phenomena, and the arrival of a menacing stranger, the siblings' loyalties are put to the test. Let's watch.
Fuck yeah.
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 That
was a good trailer.
Totally.
Yes. That was A horror mockumentary. So if there is a decent amount of comedy in that, so the trailer was predominantly, definitely like real horror vibes. And you can see they're kind of like self-aware that it's in that mockumentary style kind of a thing where it's like it's a fake documentary. But if there's comedy in this, I thought that's what they meant by mockumentary. Was that there would be comedy and not just because that's usually what they mean, like Spinal Tap and things like that.
So it's
you're
a
mocking
send-up, essentially.
A send-up, but this is not. This is just means a faux documentary versus a mockumentary.
Right.
Now, if there's comedy in this, though, I will say, like, because Shaun of the Dead, it's funny and had some actual
authentically
scary. So maybe this is both of those things. From the trailer, I'm thinking this might be a little more straight up horror with just a teeny bit of self-awareness. And of course, it's doing the faux documentary found footage shtick, which by 2025, you have to be self-aware that you're doing that at this point.
I like it. The trailer itself, just sort of the cinema of the trailer is really good. I mean, it tells a solid story. The mood's there. I'm connected to the protagonist.
Does it tell a story? I don't think it does.
It doesn't tell the story of the film. What I'm saying is there's a narrative to the arc of the trailer.
I'm not sure I agree with that either.
The finding the tape and then connecting back to this sort of this bigger mystery. That's what I mean by the narrative. I'm not saying it tells a proper story, but there is a narrative, a sort of arc, very light.
No, I still don't agree with that statement.
Yeah, there's characters. We start there. We start with the guy finding the tape, right? That's our entry point.
And then we just see a lot of weird stuff from the tape.
And then we see him attempting to make sense of the tape. That was the whole thing was him sort of moving through asking about the tape. Because his first statement is that me? I'm on the tape, right? So it's discovery. It's very brief, very light. It's very faint, but clearly I know who at least the protagonist is in the trailer, and his central sort of mystery that he's trying to unravel is why he's on this tape. And so in terms of the trailer, it's beautifully shot. It's found footage. I almost check out immediately.
Sure.
Anytime I hear about found footage now. So this seems like a really interesting little sort of.
Yeah. The only thing I will say is found footage now. I do think we're getting to the point where you're doing something interesting one way or the other, because why else would you bother? There's been so many, it's generally frowned upon. So if you want to make a found footage today, you're gonna be doing you like there's a reason you're going to that and you're like, no, this will be amazing. Kind of like, not everyone loved this one, but the one recently In a Violent Nature of a Violent Nature, something like that. It was one where it was a slasher movie, like a Friday the 13th or a Halloween, but entirely from the POV of the supernatural killer, and you just kept seeing him wandering around, and then he'd be watching the main character, the protagonist and whatnot in certain times, then he'd wander off somewhere else and then see another thing, and then sometimes he'd attack them or chase them, but it was all from his POV, and that was nifty. And it was like, okay, and it was because it was all from that POV shot, first person, it was very found footage-y in that way. But anyway.
It doesn't work well with this for me at all.
I think it would work okay, but something more red, something darker, something bolder, I think would be better. We've got a really interesting rosé we're going to try here next. So we'll see if that might be a better horror movie fit. But for now,
this is a definitely watch or add to the list for a future episode.
Yeah, for us anyway. We liked it quite a bit. All right, now let's tackle a micro budget release that dropped just this week on December 5th. The Rabbit Hole. This is the first feature by Sam Jones. In the director's own words, quote, "The Rabbit Hole is my first feature film. It was made on an ultra-low budget, under $25,000, with primarily a crew of 3 people, 1 light, 1 lens, and was shot mostly in my 200 square foot New York City studio apartment. I wrote, directed, edited, shot, production designed, and sound mixed the film by myself. It is an quote unquote independent film, unquote, in the truest sense of the phrase." The film works to contextualize humans' relationship to each other, civilization, and the natural world, and questions whether we exist in harmony with it/each other, or are actively destroying our only home while distorting our collective sense of self, unquote. The logline. Isaac, a tree hugger, builds a godlike supercomputer in order to save the natural world. But when the machine comes to life and his existence begins to crumble, Isaac is forced to choose between destiny and the person he loves most. Let's watch.
So taking the trailer as its own thing, not like its own sort of cinematic experience.
Yeah.
The trailer's done well. There's great effect. Sound solid. The shots that are used are, very, very well
woven together.
But I'm getting the sense that maybe, as happens in trailer, you get occasionally you can find a trailer that is just so much better than the actual film, the source material. I don't know if that's the case, but having cut a few trailers and knowing what it's like to kind of take a massive work and, whittle it down to a thumbnail. Yeah. I'm wondering if that's the case with this film. That it's the trailer shows really well, but the film maybe a little. I mean, maybe. That's my first impression, which is completely means nothing.
I think it's a micro budget, which means it's all going to be talking heads, right? And mood, a little bit of mood and atmosphere and so on and so forth, which is mostly what the trailer was. And even the effects, they were well woven in. They're good for the, like, these are all effects you can do in like After Effects and Photoshop and things like that. Great. So, I mean, these are things where I'm like, the movie's probably going to be exactly that. Now, couple of things, I suppose. One, again, if we hadn't read the log line, would I have any idea what this movie was about? No, not a single clue. So it was good atmosphere. It was good. Again, good vibes, and not a clue why. Like the rabbit hole. Yeah. Okay, I mean, interesting, but do I know what this movie is in any way, shape, or form? And I don't think I did. I do think, and it's interesting because having read the log line, I was even a little confused watching the trailer. I'm like, I almost feel like this trailer isn't matching the log line entirely. Like a little bit's peppered in there. You see the girlfriend a little bit, and that there's a quick scene at the very end where he's like, forgot your anniversary or what have you. And I'm like, okay, yeah, he's ignoring her and doing his thing with the supercomputer. But was it a supercomputer? Was it about nature? Like there was like this interesting vibe of like conspiracy and, big things happening, but it didn't really tie together in this trailer in any way, shape, or form where I understood what I was seeing. Would I want to watch this movie? Oh, and the other thing about the trailer that was a little not promising, but it depends on who cut the trailer and who did the sound mixing. It sounds like it's all this guy, but he did the sound mixing for the movie as well. And like, there's this great vibe of music, like this kind of thing, like going over, and it kind of overpowers the actual dialogue. Like it's so much louder, and
my existence.
You struggled to hear the dialogue in the trailer, and we have earbuds in, and I was like, "Oh, that's way too soft of dialogue." He needed to crank that up a little bit, which makes me think the movie's going to probably have underdone dialogue as well. So possibly the sound design could be a little iffy on this one as well, but at the same time, I do think the trailer's intriguing.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go somewhere in between. I don't know if it's enough to get me, especially for a micro budget. You don't know anyone involved. Me personally, I love going off and watching random ass micro budgets. So yeah, I mean, I probably would. But I think for most people, like what this trailer probably doesn't sell it because you're not seeing what it is.
Yeah, it puts me in the mind of the movie Pi. Do you remember the movie Pi?
100%.
A great trailer for Pi, and I'm not sure if it was the official trailer or something that was cobbled together after the fact, but it is very similar in it has.
I saw Pi in the theater.
Did you?
I did.
Oh shit, I did too.
Because the trailers were the marketing. Marketing for that film was top notch. Now I agree. I think I know where you're going with that. I agree that when you went to go see Pi, you had no idea what it was going to be about. You just knew it was this one character you were following around. Yeah. It was something mysterious, some kind of conspiracy. But I'm actually going to even say, though, this trailer doesn't even give you as much as the Pi trailer gave you. Because the Pi trailer, you knew this guy was chasing down something. This, you're not even sure if he's chasing something down, if he's making something, if he's collaborating with someone on what, in what way, to what end. Like, it's so amorphous that it's even less than the Pie trailer. The Pie, and of course, if you've ever seen the Pie movie, it's so straightforward in terms of what the setup is. And then the movie is just following this guy go down the route of madness, that there really nothing happens in the movie. It is just the setup. And the trailers were good. They gave you the setup, and that's really all there was. Yeah.
They gave you the setup and the energy. That was very important.
Yes.
Probably not going to go see the film based on anything narratively, but it seems like such a great effort. Like, I want to see this guy's work. Yeah. Because clearly he did this for what do you say, 25K?
Less than
25K in his 200-bedroom apartment, and the film looks
200-bedroom apartment, 200 square foot,
200 square foot apartment. The trailer at least, it looks
200 dollhouse size bedrooms
right,
in my apartment.
I'm excited about the filmmaker.
Yeah,
not excited about the film.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think the trailer doesn't do a good job of telling you what the heck this film is, but it is intriguing. So we give it that much. Yeah. And by the way, we both had the same reaction to how good this was while we were watching that trailer. This is a Tiburon Clos Cibonne rosé from Provence. Now, unlike most Provence rosés, though, we bought this and we were going to share it because we were one day in a wine shop and we were discussing just kind of out loud, why are there no oak age rosés? Like, you always get oak age whites, oak age reds, some that are, some that aren't, but rosés are always just like no oak. It's always stainless steel and fresh and light and blah, blah, blah. And then they pointed out they had this bottle on the shelf and they're like, here's one. Yeah. And they do exist out there. And Mother of God, that's good.
That's fantastic.
That's good. Now, it was a $40-something rosé, so, you get what you pay for.
That's right.
But that oak aging, it makes that rosé so much richer and more interesting and flavorful.
It's like, and it makes sense when you think about the aged oak, but it's like a fermented floral. That's the only way to describe
fermented floral. And you do get little things, like there's that ever so slight undertone of something nutty.
Yeah.
An ever so slight undertone of something that's a little, browner and darker and not just the fresh light strawberries and cranberries and raspberries of rosé that you usually get.
Yeah.
So there's something really interesting there. I'm about to have a little bit more. I will say it makes a rosé interesting like the mood of this trailer made it interesting, right? Where you didn't know what the story was, but you're like, this is still intriguing. Put some oak on your rosés, man. Come on, guys. more people do this. More people
Seriously.
experiment with this. Okay,
Seriously.
so
I like it.
we are on to... Oh, this is you, actually. I should shut up.
All right. Are you sure? Maybe we scrolled too far. Next up is Rosemead. Yet another one that released on December 5th. Cinematographer Eric Lynn takes his first turn in the director's chair to bring to life this true story of a widowed mother and her son, who is plagued with violent impulses after the death of his father. Action star Lucy Liu from Kill Bill Volume 1.
And don't forget Ecks versus Sever.
Great film.
Okay. My memory says that movie was amazing, and I am never watching it again, so it stays that way.
It's a great film.
Are you sure?
I've only ever watched it once. I walked away thinking,
yes.
This is amazing.
Yes. How long ago was that?
When I went to see it in theaters.
Same. So neither of us have seen it since the theaters. So let me tell you, folks, I am never watching it again, so it remains this fucking amazing. Antonio Banderas and Lucy Liu fighting each other as rival assassins, and let me tell you, it's the one that was Antonio Banderas again, Assassins, Antonio Banderas and Sylvester Stallone, similar to that, but even better. So maybe, except no one likes this film. No one likes this film, and the guy who directed it, this director just goes by the name of Chaos with a K. Chaos with Weissertobakowska. He has a long last name, and then he just goes by Chaos as well. And he's made many films since, and they're all really, really bad. So I'm like, oh no, I'm never watching this film again.
Let me explain something to you about that. I remember this experience. This is a seminal experience for me. I bought a ticket based on the trailer. We actually may have to pull it up because I knew at the end of this because I want to see the trailer.
We love Ecks versus. We're the only two assholes who love Ecks versus Sever.
I had no idea. Actually.
Because we saw it young and stupid, and we never went back, and we're like, it's so amazing.
But I went to see this fucker in theaters by myself on a Friday. by myself, and I was so excited to see it based on the trailer.
100% same.
And I remember leaving the theater.
No one else wanted to see it with me.
Right. I remember leaving the theater I'm just vibrating with excitement because I thought it was such a ride.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It was such an interesting ride.
I'm sure it's that.
It's that. But the next day, the reviews came out, and I remember watching the reviews on TV, and they had a journalist outside a theater after people came out. And everyone was like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. And I was like, huh.
maybe I have shitty taste. Huh.
What did I see?
Oh, what did I see? See, Dallas doesn't think that. I'm like, maybe I have shitty taste. Maybe I have maybe my taste in movies is garbage.
Because I didn't think it was how to explain it? At the time when I was watching movies, it was more about yes,
it does.
You know
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't even say it.
It was. It's more about how invigorating the film is. It was more about how how it made you feel. Yeah. It was more about how invigorated I was, even from the absurdity. Because for me, absurdity is often more entertaining.
And this was the late 90s or early 00s. I can't remember if it was somewhere between 98 and 2002. I'm going to forget the exact year.
That feels right.
And, this was Matrix era. This was Equilibrium, all those movies where it was about leather clad, everything dark, everything black, lots of stylish, cool action. We had all that influence from Hong Kong choreography. We didn't know what to do with it, but we tried. And there was something about that movie that because nobody fucking likes that movie, I'm just like, I can't go back to it. Otherwise, this vision of it, this memory of it will be shattered. So anyways, guys, Ecks, by the way, that is ECKS. They phonetically spelled it out. Apparently, it's his last name actually spelled that way, but whatever. Ecks versus Sever. Antonio Banderas versus Lucy Liu.
Yeah, so Lucy Liu worked on Rosemead as a producer for 7 years, embracing the role of Irene and the visceral experience of acting in her first language, Mandarin. Irene is a first-generation Chinese-American woman struggling to cope with cultural obligations while caring for her son and facing cancer. The topic of mental health in Asian communities is important to Liu. It's about how things can distort when people are living in shame and isolation. She said in an interview with Parade, commenting on the unique secrecy of family life in Chinese culture and the desperate need for connection. Film Independent members on the production team are Andrew Corkin, producer, Minette Louis, producer, and Tony Yang, co-producer. So, let's watch.
All right.
What do you think?
It's, again, it's another one where I'm like, do I actually know the story from that trailer? Like, even what it's about, besides the mother and her son that are Chinese, that are in America, maybe. That wasn't even 100% clear. And it's the relationship between them, and it's troubled. You can't tell why. You can't tell what is going on with the kid one way or the other, or what's going on with her one way or the other. It's just that it's heartwarming, it's intense, it's great performances, it's dramatic, Chinese, go. And I'm not sure I understand anything else about the movie beyond that from the trailer.
I thought it was pretty clear, actually. Lucy Liu's son is dealing with mental health issues, and she is a devoted mother who's trying to just keep him shielded from all the potential destruction that he could encounter and roll through. That opening scene, I think, was him at an IEP meeting at school.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like when a kid has special needs, the school has to have a document in place that says, like, these are the goals, limitations, recognition of. It also looks like he has a lot of chaos because of whatever the mental illness is, which is why you see him sort of running through the panorama sometimes.
If you didn't know the logline before seeing the trailer, would you know this? That's what I'm trying to judge this on. Is not like, okay, we just read.
You're right.
Right, because we just read what the basically was, then watched the trailer. And I'm like, okay, just based on the images and sound from the trailer, which includes dialogue, obviously. Like, would I understand what this movie was going to be about?
I will say,
outside of a mother son
devoted to her son,
devoted to her son, and it is a troubled relationship for some reason or another.
I would say definitely you could pick up on the sort of architecture of the relationship, but an acute sort of statement about what the engine is or what she's running from or towards isn't very clear. So if anyone's listening and want to redo the trailer, amp up the mental illness thing. That's what I would say. But I'm actually excited for this. For a very specific reason. I think Lucy Liu is one of those actresses she's been around for a very long time. She's paid all the dues, and she's been sort of circling a turn in career because I think she's moved out of the action star realm and range. Ecks versus Sever.
Although they literally, like, in the media is still like action star Lucy Liu,
100%.
and I'm like, guys. She hasn't done an action movie in quite some time. Yeah. Like give her a break here.
But she did really. Her career was definitely cemented as an action star because of 2 roles. Honestly.
Right.
And I think she's been one of those actors who's circling for a turn of career. Sort of the Oscar.
I think she did fall a little bit into the DTV action movies that she got a payday, but it's like she was struggling for a little while to find the good roles.
Very true.
And again, Asian actors and actresses, like, they weren't getting good role. They weren't being offered anything significant. I will say this trailer would alone, to see Lucy Liu do a major dramatic turn in her native language.
That's the draw for this film.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I'm intrigued by that alone. But I don't need the trailer for that. I could have just read in fact, when I saw this online, I was like, oh, very interesting, which is why I threw it in here.
Yeah, I agree.
Is this the true story? Because it says it's based on a true story. Is this the one? Because I know I was just reading the other day that there was a Chinese mother who should I reveal? Okay, spoilers in case this is the true story, but you might be able to look this up. Is it the Chinese mother who shot her own son while he was sleeping because of how troubled he was?
No, I think that was in Virginia, though.
That was in Virginia, because she thought he would become like a mass shooter.
Yeah, that was Virginia.
Yeah. She thought like he was getting into the bad things on the internet and whatnot. I feel like that's too soon because this was 7 years in the making. So that feels like it was too recent. Okay. But both that story and this story, what Lucy Liu was saying in the quotes there, is how in Asian culture, it's so shameful to have issues of any kind that you can't talk about it. You can't deal with them. There's no help. There's no recourse. If you can't go to friends and family that are also Asian because they're also like, no, see no evil, hear no evil kind of a thing. And so a lot of these stories have been out like I was reading about that story because of the push in Asian communities to like, we need to be able to talk about these things without it being shameful and disgraceful and like a blemish because your kid has issues kind of a thing, right? And be able to talk about it and deal with it, that's better than shooting them while they sleep, right? That kind of, or having them become mass shooters or things like that. Okay.
What do you think about the wine with this one?
Maybe.
It's a maybe.
It's a strong maybe. It's a strong maybe.
You know what it is?
It's rich for a rosé, but still a rosé. So, it's lighter in that regard. So, like, richer for that drama, but it is a family drama. So you don't need anything too heavy per se. So, yeah, maybe that could work.
I would see this based solely on Lucy Liu's turn.
100%.
I imagine, based on the trailer, she's probably going to get nominated for some awards for this.
We'll see if it gets noticed enough. We'll see. Rosemead, guys, go find it. It's out now because it came out December 5th. Go watch it. Go look that one up. Okay.
Let us know.
Merrily we roll along. This is a live filming of the 2023 Broadway revival starring Daniel Radcliffe, Jonathan Groff, and Lindsay Mendez. Sort of. Sony Pictures Classic.
Guess what? I didn't pick it.
No, he didn't. I did this for a very specific purpose. So, Sony, this was a 2023 Broadway revival. They did filming in 2024, and Sony Pictures Classics acquired distribution rights to the filmed production, which was theatrically released on December 5th. Again, I think this is our last December 5th. Don't quote me on that. We'll find out. Also, I wanted to say Richard Linklater is currently filming a pure film version of Merrily We Roll Along, but he's doing it like Boyhood.
Stop it.
So Merrily We Roll Along, here's the thing.
Interesting.
It is a Stephen Sondheim musical. It was his biggest bomb when it was first released. It's my favorite musical of all time. So I did star in it in college. And I was Daniel Radcliffe's character.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was just the best thing I was ever in. Audiences that came to this college production, I mean, it was a good production too. Major. But you could tell audiences were like, huh. So what it is it's three friends, and it starts, and it's reverse chronological order like the movie Memento. It starts at the end when their friendship is done. You see the absolute detonation where it's like scorched earth. These three are done. And then it slowly goes back 20 years. Every scene is a little bit further back in time. And you end when they become fast friends and they're like, nothing will ever break us apart. And we're doing this and we're conquering the world together. Let's go. Yeah. And it ends there. And it's heartbreaking. It's so amazing. But just that reverse chronological thing. And this would have been the late 90s. That I was in college, and like the first time they ever put this on, I think was the 80s, when it was on Broadway for the first time. Audiences didn't get it. They didn't understand what they were watching. It's so powerful, but it took American audiences time to figure out what this reverse chronological shit was, because apparently no one had ever really done it before, and it was confusing, and especially in live theater. Yeah. So
it is a fun show for sure. It's entertaining. Relationships are great. Is it still on Broadway?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It started in 2023. It's still going. I think they're finally getting ready to wrap it up, mostly because these stars have to move on and do other things. But here's a fun fact. So Richard Linklater, he's filming a version that is going to be a proper movie over the course of 20 years.
Okay. All right. Calm down.
It started in 2019.
All right.
And he's ending in 2039, and it will be released in 2040.
How old is he going to be?
You know what? There is. Have you ever
heard? Great plan.
Have you ever heard of the documentary series, the 7-Up series?
No,
you haven't. Okay, so this was a British director, and in the 50s, he started the very first documentary was 7-Up, right? And he took 7 British children that were 7 years of age. Okay. And he was like from all walks of life. Yeah. So from like dirt poor to like high end, they're going to like repertory schools and shit like that. And he's like, every 7 years, he made a new documentary with them. Then there was 14 Up, 21 Up, 28 Up, 35 Up, and so on and so forth. And he passed away, I think, after the 56 Up or something like that. But by then he had someone who had been like a close worker, and they picked it up after him, and they're still gonna go to the end of all these people's lives.
I love this. I love the kind of shit.
Exactly. So I think Richard Linklater probably has in place a contingency where he's like, if I'm gone before 2039, here's the person that's picking it up from me, and then I shot the ones from 2019 to whenever. But that version stars Paul Mescal, Ben Platt, and Beanie Feldstein.
Okay.
Who actually, Beanie Feldstein, by the way, in the movie Lady Bird, she plays a small role as a student who played a part in that fictional school's production of Merrily We Roll Along. So she's been in the fake play within a movie. Yeah. And now she's going to be in the real thing.
That's cute.
As a movie adaptation. But this is the trailer for the filmed Broadway 2023 re-release, or what do they call that? Revival of Daniel Radcliffe, Jonathan Groff, and Lindsay Mendez. Let's take a look.
Yeah, that's a good trailer. That's a good trailer for a live theater series or show.
I agree.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah. So if you didn't know, have you ever seen Merrily We Roll Along? You have. Would you want to watch this filmed version of the 2023 Broadway revival based on that trip?
Would I, Dallas, as I am now?
Would I, Dallas?
Absolutely not.
If you're going to see it, would you be okay with seeing it this way?
No.
No? Okay, you just no to him.
Absolutely not.
So, all right, I'm going to take the polar opposite. I'm all fuck yeah. Now, I love Merrily We Roll Along, so the chance to see it filmed from Broadway is like, and that cast, that top 3 cast, that's great. Jonathan Groff, Daniel Radcliffe, Lindsay Mendez. Yeah, I want to see it. That was going. By the way, we just cracked open a wine that is, and I had to do it for the musical. It's Cabaret Noir. That's not a fancy name for the wine or the thing. That is a grape. It is actually called Cabaret. I didn't misspeak. Cabaret Noir. It is a hybrid grape that is made to be more disease resistant. And this one is from, what is this, from Austria or Germany?
Luxembourg, I think.
Luxembourg. So this is the Cep d'Or Cabaret Noir from, Cote de, oh boy. Cote de Stadtbredimus. Stadtbredimus, AOP. Woo.
We will butcher some names and titles there, buddy.
Well, come up with better, easier names, motherfuckers. Stadtbredimus.
Let me see.
What is that shit? Stadtbredimus. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Stadtbredimus. I'm telling you. It's Stadtbredimus.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I've
Luxembourg.
never heard of Cabaret Noir before I got this wine, this bottle. So this is our first time. It's dark in color. It's interesting.
Peppery.
Oh, so peppery. Very Syrah-like.
Peppery. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And this is a new variety. It's a cross between Cabernet Sauvignon and an unknown resistance partners. Meaning they bred it with some highly resistant other grapes that are unknown. In 2017, the original name Cabaret Noir was changed. Oh, Cabernet Noir was changed to Cabaret Noir for legal reasons. They tried to call this Cabernet Noir without the Sauvignon, right? But of course, Cabernet Sauvignon is Noir. Right? Yeah, that was way too close, way too confusing. So for legal reasons, they changed it to Cabaret. I love it. All right, and it's genes from both Vitis vinifera and another strain of grape called Vitis amurensis. The hybrid was crossed in 1991 by the vineyard owner and vine breeder Valentin Blattner in the canton of Jura in Switzerland. Early ripening, loose-berried, and frost-hardy, resistant to powdery and downy mildew, as well as botrytis. All right, yeah. Well, this tastes great.
That's a hardy grape.
More people should make wine with it. This is great.
This is robust and peppery, and
it tastes like an organic Syrah or something of that nature, like organic grape Syrah. It's peppery. It's got this kind of freshness that I usually attribute to organic grapes a little bit, and minimal intervention. Not funky though. It's definitely not funky.
No, it's not funky.
It's just it's fresh and light while having some depth. Not too tannic though, but it's got some. You definitely get a little chalkiness, a little bit of grip.
I like this. I like it.
I think I could drink that with Merrily We Roll Along easily. I almost would go with that oak-aged rosé for Merrily, though. I suspect that'll be a bit more of the right light of footness that you need for a musical. But this works well enough. It's got a little too much noir to the Cabaret. Not enough Cabaret, too much noir. It's a little too dark, a little too... I feel like another one of these films might go better. You know, this one could go really well with that found footage one. Man Finds Tape. Okay. I might drink this with that one. Out of the ones we've seen so far. Maybe even the Lucy Liu one, depending on how heavy that family drama is.
Next up is Dust Bunny. With a December 12 release, Dust Bunny is written and directed by Brian Fuller in his directorial debut. This marks Brian Fuller's first time in the feature film director's chair after having supplied audiences with some of the most cult favorite shows in recent memory like Hannibal and Pushing Daisies. Dust Bunny is led by Mads Mikkelsen, Sophie Slang, and Sigourney Weaver. Dust Bunny tells the story of a young girl who hires a mysterious neighbor, a hitman, to kill the monsters living under her bed. Let's watch.
Here we go. So My first thought. One, I want to know what the budget of that fucking thing is. And two, you know what it looked like? It's like a slightly horror-themed version of Mute. All of those visuals and the color and the production design, it looked like we just did an episode on Duncan Jones's Mute from 2018, his sort of sequel to Moon. The one star, Mute stars Alexander Skarsgård, Paul Rudd, Justin Theroux, and it had that kind of futuristic Blade Runner-y kind of a thing, but very neon, very, very soaked in color, but gritty. And this was like that with a tinge of something weirdly supernatural that almost doesn't fit. Like, I'd be really, I don't know. It's one of those movies where I'm like, this guy who created Hannibal, he was able to do this like larger than life, crazy sized movie that costs so much fucking money. And I'm almost wondering if that did this story require that much money? Or was this almost like too much ambition on the visual end, where it's like, this did not need to be this grand guignol?
Yeah.
You know?
It's curious that for me, the trailer, I couldn't decide whether or not it was properly fantasy or...
Yep. It is purposely unclear.
It is purposely, unclear.
Are certain things that are fantastical in the kid's head, the child's head?
Right.
Right. And some of this, from the look of it, it's kind of far future. Or not far future, but future-ish. So some of it could be sci-fi-ish in nature, and it's unclear. It looks like, again, it looks Mute. It looks like this weird, modern, very slickish kind of Blade Runner rather than the dirty, gritty version of Blade Runner.
It's very vaporwave. That's the term.
Vaporwave. Interesting. Okay.
Aesthetic.
Vaporwave mixed with like a Candyland. Right,
Yes,
so you've got that childlike thing where it's like
vaporwave.
Yes,
yeah.
So again, a bit of an issue with like, could I tell you what the story is outside of this? This is what I can tell you from the trailer. There's a kid. Her parents are killed. She thinks by this monster, like some kind of supernatural thing. Goes to Mads Mikkelsen, says he kills monsters for some reason. He takes her under his wing. At one point in the trailer, he does say, it is revealed. So this isn't a spoiler. The trailer doesn't give you that. He's like, no, your parents weren't killed by a monster. There were people trying to come to kill me. But is there still a monster? Right. And that it's a little iffy, loosey-goosey on, or is this all a kid in an adult's world? Kind of Pan's Labyrinth-y, right? Where it's like there's this war going on, and this is like her escape, is to create this dangerous, fantastical folklore version of reality that it's up to the viewer whether it even exists or not, or whether this is her coping mechanism of the real world horrors of war. Our next movie is Lone Samurai. This is going to be released on December 12th. It is written and directed by Josh C. Waller, who directed the Zoe Bell action films Raise and Camino, which I've never seen, even though I'm an action movie junkie, but word of mouth on those have not been great. However, he did this alongside one of the producers of Mandy and A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, and it stars the Japanese star who goes only by the name Shogun. Quote, a logline. A 13th century samurai becomes shipwrecked on a remote island, believing it deserted at first, but ends up captured by a cannibal tribe. What begins as a survival escape ordeal turns into a brutal fight for life and a metaphorical existential journey. Let's watch. Hi, baby.
Hey, baby.
My kitties, come join us. All right, and I should also say it co-stars Yahya Ruyan, if I'm pronouncing that name right, but the Indonesian co-star of both the Raid movies, one of the great, like outside of Iko Uwais, he's like the guy. Choreographed both those films as well, so he's one of the great ones, and you saw him as one of the villains or antagonists anyway in this movie. I get the feeling our protagonist might actually be kind of an asshole too. He shows up on this island, everyone's like, "Fuck you," and it's like, "Yeah, you just showed up out of nowhere," and he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna kill you all," and it's like, I guess. Anyway. Okay, action movie, good. It definitely something I'm going to see as an action movie lover. I have to try it. It looks promising. I will give it that. from that trailer.
Looks lofty. Like, it's like they're really trying to. There's some heavy lifting going on.
You think so? I would not say that.
Not in terms of the filmmaking, but in terms of like the story they're trying to tell. Like, is it based on a true story?
No. What I have read about it is minimal dialogue.
Okay.
So almost no dialogue in the whole movie. It is all body language action. No one speaks each other's language. So it is just, antagonism and trying to get off this island alive. That is exciting for me. I think that sounds great. I'm going to do it.
Interesting.
That said, I will say when I saw that this is the guy who directed Raise and Camino, I was like, oh no. I've always wanted Zoe Bell to get a really good action spotlight. Yeah. And those two movies just, like, even action fans are like, like they're not into it. So this looks promising. Hopefully this will be his breakthrough after those two Zoe Bell films. Too bad he couldn't do it with the Zoe Bell film. And maybe he learned, because everything I've read bad about those movies has always been kind of like, it's really by the numbers. It's kind of boring. It's like, it's really like, it's painful to watch, but maybe it's got a couple good action scenes or something. And maybe this is the one where he's like, okay, you know what? No dialogue. Just fucking fight each other. I'll film it. Go for it, guys. So if you guys ever read the anime Vagabond, that's all the Miyamoto Musashi story and whatnot. They've made film after film after film. It's all Miyamoto Musashi. In fact, somewhat, I think even Bruce Lee, when he did like Fist of Legend, not Fist of Legend, not the Big Boss. Fist of Fury. Fist of Fury. Fist of Fury.
God,
Fist of Legend was the Jet Li remake of Fist of Fury. Fist of Fury. It was kind of a loose remake of the Miyamoto Musashi. He's the guy. Back in the day, martial arts were always like, you had a form, you had a style, and you stuck to that, and then you challenged each other based on whose style was better. But you couldn't go outside the moves of the style. And Musashi was the first one to be like, I'm going to learn everything. And just like flow, like do what's best in the moment. Who gives a fuck what style it is? Who gives a fuck who taught it? Who gives a fuck who came up with it? Do what wins. And at the time, it was legendary, and no one could beat him because of that. But of course, that was because everyone was just like locked in a little like, this is all we know. And then he was like, okay, fine, I'll learn everything and beat all of you. And he did. And he was considered like a wild man because of that, and so on and so forth. But sure, I'm not giving this movie that. But in any event, yeah, that looks good to me. Yeah, I will watch it as that. I will even say I think that an action movie like that would go great with the Cabaret Noir. Action's kind of like a dance. Yeah. So, hey, Cabaret. There you go.
All right. Next up is Anaconda. It hits theaters on December 25th and is directed and co-written by Tom Gormican and stars Paul Rudd, Jack Black, Steve Zahn, and Thandie Newton.
Tandy Newton.
That's right. Sorry. Yeah, Thandie Newton. Yeah. As you can tell by that cast, Anaconda is a comedy, a meta reboot of the 1997 original film. The story focuses on two middle-aged friends who decide to remake their favorite childhood horror film, only to end up facing a real giant anaconda in the deep Amazon.
Did you see the original Anaconda in theaters?
Oh, I haven't seen it. I've never seen it.
Oh, you've never seen it? Okay, I saw it in theaters.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I went. It's not that great. I enjoyed Snakes on a Plane more. I'm gonna say
okay.
It. Yeah.
All right.
Anaconda's a little, like, it can't take itself too seriously, being what it is, but it did take itself more seriously. Snakes on a Plane was like, no.
That's true.
We're motherfucking snakes on a motherfucking plane. Like we're gonna have more fun. Yeah. But this is the fun version. I will say I did not know this movie had been made or even existed until I saw it on a billboard on a drive. I think last week or the week before. It was very recent. So let's see how the trailer plays.
Where's J-Lo? Wasn't she in the original?
Yep. It's Thandie Newton now. That's the thing.
Absolutely not. Burn it.
Okay. Dallas is a naysayer on Anaconda. I say just get yourself some nice Spanish vermouth. We are drinking some VRMT Spanish vermouth, a little 500 milliliter bottle, so a 2/3 size bottle. Yeah, I love this stuff. I love this stuff. I love vermouth.
Me too.
Sweet vermouth. You just drink it straight. I know a lot of you are like, vermouth, isn't that what goes into like martinis? Yeah. The dry stuff does. And yes, at a level that you're not supposed to drink on its own, it's not that good. Well-made vermouth. It's a botanical. You make wine, you soak it in all these herbs and spices, and it is fucking amazing.
It's fantastic. It's like the intersection of sherry and
it is.
And for me, it's like the intersection of sherry.
Like a sweet sherry.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm with you. I've had Pedro Jimenez and the really sweet stuff. So vermouth is, and by the way, the name comes from the German, the way they pronounce it, it's wormwood, right? So Vermouth. And so vermouth came from that because you soak it. Wormwood is one of the primary, it's thought to be medicinal back in the day. We kind of know it's not that medicinal anymore, but it still tastes great.
That's right. Wormwood oil is actually the special ingredient in the green fairy drink. Oh,
right. Well, we thought it was psychedelic too, or psychotropic or something like that. Like we thought it really made people go nuts. No, apparently they used wormwood to make what was absinthe?
Absinthe, that's the name.
And absinthe,
green fairy is what I said.
And the thing is, absinthe was so high in alcohol, it was insane. It was like, what was that shit? It was like 200 proof. It was almost like pure alcohol. So people were just going nuts because of the alcohol content. Had nothing to do with the wormwood. It was just they were getting drunk so fast and so they couldn't take it, and they were like hallucinating. But wormwood does nothing bad to you. It's just delicious.
Yeah, if you are looking for an onboard into wine, I'm going to say start with vermouth. I'm going to say start with vermouth because there's a lot out there. And
sweet though, don't go dry.
Don't go dry.
Dry is for mixing. Dry is for mixing. You don't drink dry.
Please don't go dry.
Straight. And
I
know
if you go dry.
I am about to drop. By the time this episode goes live, the article will have already dropped. This is probably going live on Thursday of the week, 2 days earlier on our Substack, entertainmentstudios.com, by the way, a sweet wine article, which vermouth is covered in the sweet wine article. And it's titled, No, You Don't Hate Sweet Wines. You just associate sweetness with shitty wine. And true, well-done sweet wines, likely, there are some of you that truly have no sweet tooth. And you hate anything, and you're like, sweet just doesn't do it for me no matter what it is. Cool. You might be you. That might be you. But most of you think you hate sweet wines. You don't. You just haven't had the good stuff. And vermouth is one of the good things.
It honestly is. It is one of those things you should sip. You should indulge. You should try and figure out all the aromatics that are in there. Like if you're trying to sort of train that palate, I'm going to say go with vermouth first. It's just a lot of fun in very small volume. You don't need a whole lot, first of all.
You notice we are really trying not to talk about Anaconda.
True.
I will only say I don't think I'm quite as bad as Dallas on Anaconda, but at the same time, like I ain't seen it in the theaters, folks. Like it looks fine. It's a little bit. Jack Black was in King Kong, which was also like a film crew that went to go like film things. It's kind of like that, but with Anaconda and more funny. They're trying to be funny. Was the the trailers never show the good jokes in these things. It's always like the most physical humor imaginable.
That's so interesting. I think the opposite.
No.
I think sometimes they always show
sometimes.
This one didn't. No. For sure. But sometimes they show the best jokes, and it's maddening.
Yes. If it's something like a mockumentary, like Spinal Tap, I think they will because it's so non-visual, non-physical. Everything is talking heads. So they're like, fuck, we got to make people laugh. So then they'll show you the best lines. If it's something where there's a lot of physical humor, they're just going to show you the energy. They just want the big boom, bam, fall, slap, prep fall, something slamming into you, farting, burping, whatever is visual and audio. And they don't give a shit about an actual good moment, like a joke that pays off. How can you do that in trailer, right? So I don't know, but I will say, even I'm on the fence with this one where I'm like, I like the idea of doing a meta new Anaconda with comedians like Jack Black and Paul Rudd. But does this look like it's going to be particularly funny? No, it doesn't. It looks very Hollywood.
They're gonna make a lot.
It looks so by the numbers, and we'll see. We'll see. I'm glad everyone got a payday.
Yes.
Theaters are dying. Studios are dying. They should die.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Studios should definitely die. I'm done. I'm done with that version of the world. Anyways, Dallas, what is next?
All right. Full disclosure.
Why did you
This
pick
genre?
this one?
Oh, buddy, this genre film is, in terms of like the experience of filmmaking, of moviedom. This is my favorite. If I'm gonna hit play
How
on
are we
something-
friends?
Oh,
How are
man.
we friends?
It is so endlessly entertaining because I enjoy the absurdity of the moment. Because sometimes the absurdity in films like this, it is the willing suspension of disbelief. This is the embodiment of that concept, and that's why I enjoy it. Because when I hit a film like this, when I hit play on a film like this, or I sit in that theater seat and wait for the curtain to open. Curtains don't open anymore, but in my head, it's very romantic going to the cinema. But when the film starts to play, I tuck in because I know I'm about to get some batshit nonsense on top of some generally okay filmmaking.
Generally okay.
Generally okay.
Okay.
So I enjoy it.
It had a budget.
Personally,
They spent the money.
There are explosions.
They
there-
hired a bunch of people and they
Right.
held the equipment and it got made.
there are explosions. There's usually either an Irish, Scottish, English, or
All the
Australian
above.
actor,
all of the above.
doing an American who he's a scientist, even though he looks like he gets
Hire
in-
nothing but non-Americans to
Absolutely.
all do American accents.
Absolutely. And
Yes.
they're always scientists, and they look like they get into brawls on the weekend with their motorcycle clubs, which is like, oh, okay, all right, that's it, that's a thing, I guess. But I love this.
Stuck in the mid 80s is what
Always,
these movies are.
always.
Yes.
And that sort of post-apocalyptic or apocalyptic element, love it. Nonsense, love it. That is my popcorn cinema. So with
Okay.
that said.
Okay, go ahead.
With that said, next up is Greenland 2. By the way, number one, I watch it at least once a month because
Really?
it's nonsense. Yes, I honestly, my jaw's just like, oh god, this is so good.
I
'Cause
can't.
It's so
I
bad.
can't. I can't.
It's so bad.
I can't even. I've
It's so
never.
bad.
I've
It's
never.
So bad. It's so good.
Okay.
Like to see Gerard Butler pretend to be a scientist.
Can I just say, Dallas wrote on our transcript here that we're reading from the long-awaited sequel. Who was long-awaiting this? How is it long-awaited? This is
I
a
wrote
sequel.
it. Me.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead and read it proper.
All right, Greenland 2, Migration. That title alone is fucking disgusting. Anyway, releases January 9th, 2026, the long-awaited sequel to the 2020 Gerard Butler disaster thriller Greenland. Original director Rick Romanois returns, and original writer Chris Sparling with Michael LaFortune. After the world-ending comet strike and survival in a doomsday bunker, the sequel picks up years later. The Garrity family must leave their shelter and attempt to migrate across a devastated frozen Europe in search of safety and a new home.
Wow.
Nonsense.
Nonsense.
But so fantastic.
Nonsense.
Let's watch.
No one bothered to put an ad on this one. I just want to say that. Do you want to pay to advertise on Greenland too much? No, we're good. We're good.
Thanks.
At least they let him be Scottish in this one.
right.
So tough outside. Like everyone knows you're the guy in Train Your Dragon. Just do your Scottish accent now.
Yeah, you're escaping that, right?
Yep. Behind
You're
a tree.
right, right.
Behind a tree. Oh. I'll protect you with my Scottish body. Did you see me in 300? It can take it. The long-awaited sequel.
Told you, I'm not the only one.
No, it didn't say that. Fuck you. Nobody was long awaiting this fucking thing.
Oh, buddy.
Except maybe the producers.
I'm so excited for this.
They're like, we get twice the pay if we
Yes.
make a second one?
Yes.
Can we make the second one now? Thank you. Fuck you guys. This is why theaters should die. You all went to go see Greenland in them. All right?
Yes, so that is Greenland.
So for you, yes, you're going
so for
to
me,
see this.
yeah, because again, I'm
Now,
one of those
did the
guys-
trailer change anything, or were you just like, uh-huh?
No, I to be fair, I did not want to see the trailer. I did it for this.
True,
I don't
true,
want to see the
true,
trailer.
true. Fair,
I wanted
fair.
to sit. I wanted to be so raw and pure,
Yeah.
sitting in the audience
Yeah.
when the absolute nonsense unfolded.
Did
front of
you ever see The Wandering Earth, the Chinese disaster movie.
Was there an American actor in that?
No. It's on The Wandering Earth 2, the sequel, like this one, came out. It's a Netflix only one. So that one's only on Netflix. And the first one you kind of got to find elsewhere. But I saw it in the theater, of all things. I went to my local, did I see that in the Lumiere?
Oh, down
here? Yeah. The Art House Theater here. Like they had it in theaters in the US. It was a huge hit in China. So of course they made a sequel. But yeah, The Wandering Earth. I'd be curious to see what you think of that one. And then there is a sequel on Netflix as well. So you can always watch that whenever you want. But my point of all of that is just between movies like 2020, 2012, 2021.
With,
it was
Cusack.
Yeah, Cusack. Which was the Independence Day guys, right?
Yes.
Or one of them, I think. Roland Emmerich. Between movies, The Deep Impact and Armageddon, between movies like Since Then, what was I just thinking of that was the other big disaster one? The one with Ewan McGregor and Rachel Weisz, I think, was the actress in that one, where it's all like this tsunami in one of the Asian countries, and they're just running. No one liked that one either.
That one. Okay.
Anyway, these films are always so bad.
Yeah.
I don't. I get it. Yeah, even Kitty's like, meow. He's like, why? Don't watch them. Don't watch them. They're terrible. Kitties never survive. Only in space did the cat survive. Only with Sigourney Weaver did the cat survive. Fuck you guys for never letting it survive. I don't get why we keep making these disaster movies. Are they that? But apparently they're that popular. Look at this motherfucker.
They're popcorn theater. They're popcorn cinema. It is the Friday night. Let's go see something.
I can't get into them. I don't enjoy them.
I enjoy them simply because, to be fair, if someone had a camera on my face while I was in the cinema watching this, it would just be me going, "Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow, this is fantastic."
Why do you think?
Because it's silly. It is silly.
There's lots of silly things. Anaconda
I'll tell you what's
silly.
It's silly, and everyone in it is taking it so seriously.
Okay.
Everyone around it is taking it so seriously. It's just one of those things.
Do you like the Transformers movies?
Love them.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
All right.
Nonsense.
All right, Michael Bay fan here.
Oh, huge.
There.
I wrote a script called Michael Bay Make My Movie about a guy who meets Michael Bay on a hike.
All right. This is our point of distinction as movie watchers.
But not because he thinks Michael Bay's a great director. It's just that Michael Bay does
I get it. I can't go with you, but I get it.
Oh, it's great. Great spectacle.
All right, guys. So that is Greenland 2 Migration. Dallas will be there opening night.
What about these? Anything match with that? Fit with that? I'm going to say I'm going with the Vermouth because Vermouth is so wonderful, and it puts a smile on my face.
Okay.
That Vermouth.
Okay.
And this film is ridiculous and
fair.
Thing.
I would need the searing acidity of the Jurancon sec. I'm going back to the white that we started with. Because that thing is like, I need to be in pain while I watch this movie. It's not good. All right, so next up is, and I wonder, is this, nope, not quite the last one. 2 more to go, I think. We Bury the Dead. Releasing January 2nd, right after New Year's. So technically not a December release like all the others, but what the hell? We ain't doing this again until the New Year. So We Bury the Dead premiered at South by Southwest 2025. Oh, no, that can't be right. Did it premiere this year at South by Southwest? Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, later release.
Okay, all right. We Bury the Dead premiered at South by Southwest 2025, and then someone picked it up and got right to it. Is directed by Zach Hilditch, known for Rattlesnake and Stephen King's 1922 on Netflix, if you've never seen that, with Thomas Jane. I do recommend it. It's good. It's not great, but it's good. It's good. It's solid. It's one of his more dramatic, like Dolores Claiborne and Misery type stories. And this movie, We Bury the Dead, stars Daisy Ridley, Brenton Thwaites, Mark Coles Smith, and Matt Whelan. Quote, logline, After a catastrophic military disaster, the dead don't just rise, they hunt. And when Ava searches for her missing husband, she finds something far more terrifying. All right, let's watch. No, that's Greenland too. Shit.
Yes, play it again, goddammit.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Also Scottish. Fuck you. Fuck you. There we go. Do I even have? There it is. Yeah, that convinced me.
Damn good trailer.
Yeah. I want to see it.
Expecting.
I want to see it. I will say, zombie movie. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
But not only does the trailer in quotes from other critics or from somewhere, you can never tell, and they flash by so fast. But they're like, unlike any undead you've ever seen on the town. I'm like, okay, interesting. And then they hinted that it's a little bit half like a ghost, half like a zombie, like unfinished business. You're stuck behind is like the undead in a body, but also you have a reason to not go quietly into that good night, right? Which is interesting. So yeah, that looked, and a damn good trailer. That was just well cut together.
I will say I was not sold on the zombie aspect of the notion. I'm over the zombie.
100%.
Hey, Gail Anherd, how you doing? Thanks for following me on the socials.
She knows.
And it's an interesting little turn. I like the idea of the energy of that character. She's clearly, there's a mission. She's on a mission. And the backdrop is this sort of zombie apocalypse. I like it. I'm curious.
Okay.
I'm curious.
All right.
I'm rarely ever curious about zombie films. So
yeah, and that one for sure, I would do the Cabaret Noir. You need the depth of that one. I think that would just be. It's juicy. It's a little dark and bloody and earthy, and it's like, we bury the dead. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one you got to do for that.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Next up is All You Need Is Kill, releasing in Japan January 9th and internationally January 16th, 2026. All You Need Is Kill is an anime feature adaptation of the original Japanese novel, the same novel that the live-action Tom Cruise movie Edge of Tomorrow was based on. The anime film is a retelling of the story from another point of view from the original novel and the American film adaptation. Logline. In a time loop during an alien plant invasion, Rita relives the same day repeatedly, becoming a skilled warrior. Exhausted by endless deaths, she discovers Keiji, another person trapped in the loop. Produced by WB Japan and Studio 4 Degrees Celsius, co-directed by Kerry Richard Akimoto and Yukinori Nakamura. Let's watch All You Need Is Kill.
Were you a fan of Edge of Tomorrow? Have you ever seen it? That was the one that was Live, Die, Repeat, remember? Or Live, Die, Repeat. And then they changed the name to Edge of Tomorrow, and it's one where Tom Cruise just like has to.
I never saw it.
You never saw it? All right, so this is
on my list, though.
Same story, but from a different POV as an animated an anime movie. All right, wow, that was short and sweet, though. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Whenever it's in a foreign language, they'll never give you the subtitles. They always just want to do like whatever is wordless, and so they'll just give you a very fast like 1 minute, scene. You're like clip, done. Kind of a thing. So, yeah, I mean, I liked Edge of Tomorrow. It was one of the unusually good Tom Cruise sci-fi movies from that time. Yeah, I mean, I might see it someday, but I will say I wish we could just make trailers in a foreign language film with fucking subtitles because it's so fast and sweet. And you're like, here's some animation, here's some things that are happening. Done. I'm going with the Oaked Rosé on that one. Or the vermouth, because you need a potpourri of flavor.
Yeah.
The red and the white are a little too one note. They're very extremely that one thing, like the Cabaret Noir and the Petite Menseng. Like they're displaying the varietal characteristics very, very well. And I think you need like the oak aging on this Provence Rosé. And then all the stuff that's steeped into the vermouth, like I think that's going to go with the explosion of visuals and that's in that All You Need Is Kill anime. Yeah,
I'm going to take a counterpoint. I think it is so dynamic and so sumptuous. I love the animation. It looks like a blend of 3 or 4 styles, which makes sense, I suppose. And I'm going to go with counterpoint. I'm going to go with this guy. It's a little...
Searing acidic white.
Absolutely. It's a little acidic, but it's also very, for lack of a better term, simple.
Okay.
It's very simple. As a counterpoint.
Oh, 100% it is.
And I like that pairing. I like that. Yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
All right. Well, that's
fun.
the end of our very first trailer extravaganza, which I like. I think I'm going to call in the title of this thing. We'll see what happens when we actually release this, but I think it's going to be coming soon to drinkers. And so that's what these episodes are going to be called. We're going to do them roughly once every probably 6 weeks or so, like month and a half. And we'll pick some random trailers. We're always going to try and do a mix of big studio films and smaller independent productions, micro budget films. Make sure you know what's coming out there.
That's right.
We'll watch the trailers and give a little feedback, drink a little wine, share it. And this will be a fun little thing to do when we're a little tired of just doing the same thing over and over again, week in and week out.
And feel free to shoot us any trailers that are upcoming for any films that you come across, either independent or especially independent, in fact, because those things may not be on our radar as much as they are on yours out in the world. And we may cover an episode. And I'm going to say the one I would probably add to our to-watch list for a future pairing episode is Greenland. No. It is... Let's scroll down. Rosemead.
It's Rosemead?
Rosemead, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. And for me, I think it's going to be Man Finds Tape. Interesting. Man Finds Tape or We Bury the Dead. The horror movies got me. Those are the two that most spoke to me.
I see it.
Out of these. So apparently I'm just in a very horror mood.
Hey.
It is what it is. I mean, I'm don't get me wrong. I'm very into the Chronology of Water, Kristen Stewart's directorial debut. I'm probably going to watch that at some point. I'm into that one. I'm a little curious about Dust Bunny, but I do get the feeling there's something about it that makes me worry about Dust Bunny, where I'm like, that is so Netflix original coded.
Yes,
in that
that's
way.
The phrase.
In the way that it is a little too
sometimes
slick,
disappointing,
slick and pretty, and you're like, does this need to? Did anyone need to spend this much money on this story?
Yeah.
It looks like they just spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried about that, and of course, Merrily Roll Along. I'm in like Flynn with that one, just because, and Lone Samurai, because I have to.
Lone Samurai.
On Letterboxd, I do an action chunky score where I watch action movies and I literally clock the ratio of action to the rest of the screen time and rate that against other action movies. So I gotta watch Lone Samurai. It's going to be a big one. So, all right, guys. This has been another episode of Entertainment. We will be back soon. I actually don't know if it's going to be 1 or 2 weeks for the next episode. We're going to find out. We're in December. Now, we're probably going to slow down a little bit, but I've also heard that, doing episodes in these holiday times when no one else is actually kind of a good idea. So we might be back in 1 week with another entertainment pairing for your entertainment. Another wine and entertainment pairing for your entertainment. There we go. We drunk a little bit of wine. Let's maybe something a little holiday-esque. Style Code Santa Claus. We might. That's one I really want to watch. I'm also watching all of Stranger Things right now from the top because I've never seen it before. So I'm very excited. I'm in the middle of season 2 at this point. I want to try and finish it by the end of December. So that's taken up a lot of my time. By the way, guys, spaghetti western, A Pistol for Ringo. Go look it up. It's amazing. I just watched it this week as part of Letterboxd Club that I'm with, and that we do one movie a week. And A Pistol for Ringo came up this week, and it's the best spaghetti western I've seen since the OG Django. It's different than Django, but it's one of the best. It was Christmas themed, which is why we saw it. It takes place during a Christmas, but south of the border, down Mexico way. So it's still just a Western, but they're like, but everyone's kind of celebrating Christmas while they're being taken hostage. It's a little like Die Hard is a spaghetti Western. It's fascinating.
What?
Yes, it's fascinating. A Pistol for Ringo. Go look that up. that is my recommendation for this day. And also, this Tiborin or Tiboron, Clos Cibonne from Provence, an oak-aged rosé. Go see if you can find an oak-aged rosé. That was tremendous. Vermouth, you do not hate sweet wine.
Right.
Look for that article coming on.
Dig into the vermouth.
Yes, it'll be in our Substack by the time this episode drops. Jurancon sec, if you like it really acidic and white. And then a Cabaret Noir. I've never seen one before this bottle, so see
He's
if
also
you...
never seen the film Cabaret.
I've never seen the film Cabaret. So that's one that might come up on this episode, on this podcast in the near future. All right, folks. And we have to shout out our top three producers, Jessica Mason, Kate Rochelle, and Paul Kalamkiarian. Thank you for being our producers and supporting this podcast. You too can become a producer for $50 a year, just one payment a year of $50 at our Substack. Support this podcast. You become a producer. You get a shout out every episode, and you get to commission your own episode. Tell us what you want us to cover. All right. Thanks, guys. Happy beginning of December, the end of the year. Happy holiday season. We'll see you very soon. We'll talk to you very soon. Ciao for now.
Go drink some wines. Go watch some trailers.
Yeah, don't be us. Go watch trailers.
Yeah, please go. Tell us.
In a world where unopened bottles of wine exist and films in desperate need of judgmental content.
No.
Am I right, Pat?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Wow. He wrote his own line and then cracked himself up.
It's true. Gold comes out and I move on. Anyway. That's hilarious.